So hello everybody, welcome to the Zoom meeting room today. This is Korea and UAE Youth Aerospace online program. My name is Song Baek, a student of Korean Media Leadership Academy, and I am the event host of this program today. And I heard that there are many high school students who were invited to this meeting room. Nice to meet you guys, to Korea and from UAE. To say hi, and can I ask to all participants to turn on your camera, please? Thank you so much. And first, let me explain the purpose and the background of this program, the Korea and UAE International Exchange. The UAE is a leading space country in the Middle East and is striving to spread its youth aerospace science program. Korea and UAE, two countries, have a close friendship and successfully held the UAE Youth Rocket Challenge in May 2019. And in addition, after signing the MOU in March this year, we planned joint development and hosting of youth aerospace science events and programs. For example, the winner of the UAE Rocket Challenge in October 2019 participated in the aerospace science competition in Korea in this year, 2020. But as you know, due to COVID-19, all of offline events were canceled, and that's why we are here in online in the Zoom meeting. And today's program is sponsored by the Young Astronaut Korea (YAK) and Tawazun Technology and Innovation (TTI) and UAE Space Agency. Before starting the lecture, please turn off your audio, please. The video is on your decision. Now we have been for a long time, and let's start for the first part now. Dr. Joo-hee Lee will give a lecture, a topic of competitiveness of the Korea space industry and the direction of the future aerospace generation. And also, if you have a question, please leave a comment and I will ask if I have time. He is the Dr. Joo-hee Lee for the KARI, the Korean Aerospace and Research Institution.
Okay, hi everyone. It's a wonderful weekend, but everybody have participated in Korea UAE Youth Aerospace online program. Yeah, I really appreciate your participations. Okay.
I really appreciate to meet you, Dr. Joo-hee Lee, and I want to give you some sincere that you can have a lecture on this online program.
Okay, thank you.
Hi everyone, thank you for coming my presentation. I can see new faces in this online program. This online program is designed for the young people and young students to exchange information in the field of aerospace between the Republic of Korea and the United Arab Emirates. For those students who don't know me, let me introduce myself. My name is Joo-hee Lee, the principal researcher of the Space Exploration Division in Korea Aerospace Research Institute. The Korea Aerospace Research Institute uses the first letters of an English word and it is called KARI. In my presentation today, I'll present the competitiveness of Korean space development and the direction of human resources development in the field of aerospace. I'll focus on the prospect of the new space era and competitiveness of the Korean space development and the plan for fostering the manpower in the field of aerospace. This presentation is not an easy topic, but I think you can understand if you look at the presentation materials carefully. Next part is the content. Today my talk is divided in three parts. At the first part, I would like to introduce the research and development activities in KARI. And secondly, I'd like to talk about the prospect of the new space era in Korea. In the last part, I'll tell you the summary of my presentation and show the video files for Vision 2040 of KARI. Next slide is the next slide is this is the roadmap figure, shows the Korea's third basic plans for space development promotion from 2018 to 2020 for 5 years. This space development promotion plan is updated every 5 years, and there are some important plans in here. You can see the launch of the KSLV-2 Nuri right here in 2021, and the Lunar Exploration Plan 2022 right here. Based on this successful mission, we are preparing for the full-scale exploration of the deep space explorations. Although satellite and rocket launch dates are often delayed for many regions, but the development of satellite and rocket in Korea is generally successful in launching and operating them. This part is the mission and major functions of KARI. As you may know, KARI was established in 1989 as a government-funded research institute under the Ministry of Science and ICT. And after more than 25 years of research and development activities in space areas, KARI was designated as a National Space Development Organization in 2016. As a specialized organization for space development, it can be said that KARI plays a key role in the overall field of space, which represent 4 major functions such as research and development of aircraft, satellite, and launch vehicle systems, supporting of national aerospace policies, and certifying the aerospace technologies, and lastly, dissemination of its R&D results. Okay, this part is the main research and development facilities of KARI. This part shows the main research and development facilities in KARI. KARI's R&D facilities are located in first site. Here in Daejeon headquarters, all of satellite-related facilities such as satellite test centers, satellite ground station are located in these areas. And Naro Space Center and Gohong Aviation Center are located in the south part of Korean Peninsula, and Jeju Tracking Station in the Jeju Island. Naro Space Center is the nation's solo space launch site, where successful launch of the Korea's first space launch vehicle, called the KSLV-1, was conducted, as well as ongoing tests are being conducted for the development follow-up of the launchers. It has major facilities for the development and launch of space vehicles, such as launch site, mission operation centers, and tracking facilities. Also, operate a separate tracking station on Jeju Island to continue tracking the launcher trajectory in the event of launch. I'll tell you R&D achievement of KARI. In satellite area, since the first launch of Korea multipurpose satellite 1 in 1991, KARI has been developing a total of 10 low Earth orbit and geosynchronous orbit satellite so far. And now 6 of these satellites, such as COMSAT-3, COMS, and GK2A and 2B, are operating in orbit. COMS stand for the Communication, Oceanography, and Meteorology Satellite, that is GEO satellite. As a follow-up, COMS, GK2A, and 2B, which has a meteorological payload, was successfully put into orbit last December 2019 and February 2020. As for the development of launch vehicle, right here, we launched the Korean sounding rocket 3 times from 1993 to 2002. And based on these previous experience, KARI successfully completed the launch of Korean space launch vehicle in 2013. And test launch vehicle equipped with 75-ton engine, core engine of KSLV-2 was also launched last November, which this we are expecting in the maiden flight of KSLV-2 to be carried out in 2021. In this slide, you can see the satellite under development at this moment. Compact advanced satellite, we call it the CSA CAS, is basic optical satellite, which is to secure the medium-sized standard platform of 500 kilogram class satellite. COMSAT-6 is follow-up radar satellite that is scheduled to be launched in 2021. And COMSAT-7 is the next generation with high resolution EO payload, less than 30 centimeters in panchromatic, which will be launched in 2021. Also, for the next geostationary satellite, two sets of GeoComSat satellites were developed simultaneously, with the first one being launched 2018, as I mentioned before, and the remaining one carrying ocean environment payload launched this year. Next part is Korea Space Launch Vehicle part. This part is for the Korea Space Launch Vehicle 2. We call it Nuri launch vehicles. The second generation of Korea Space Launch Vehicle, which is capable of launching 1.5-ton satellite, is being developed in our own facilities. The KSLV-2 is a three-stage launch vehicle consisting of one stage with a full set of 75-ton engine, a 75-ton liquid engine for the second stage, and a 7-ton liquid engine for the third stage. This launch vehicle is aiming for the first launch in 2021, and as you may know, we succeeded the test launch of its 75-ton engine last November. This part is a space exploration part. In conjunction with the ongoing R&D project, KARI is gearing up for space explorations, focus on the robotic lunar mission by developing a Korea Pathfinder Lunar Orbiter. We call it a KPLO, which is scheduled to be launched in 2022. As a follow-up to this project, Korea is planning to launch a lunar lander by 2030. And asteroid sample return is envisioned in the 2030s after the successful completion of the lunar project. Also, according to the National Basic Plan, Korea will be moving forward with space exploration by using microsatellite, and various studies on space science will be conducted along the way. Okay, that is related to lunar explorations. This computer graphic video is designed to contribute to young people's understanding of a lunar Pathfinder mission in 2022 and the plan for the lunar lander mission to be carried out before 2030s. If you watch this video, you can easily understand the process of the lunar exploration missions. Okay, let's see this computer graphic videos. Okay, from this part, I'll explain the manned space exploration programs. The Korean astronaut project was carried out from 2005 to 2008. Almost was it was carried out 3 years. The purpose of this project, as you may know, was to acquire manned technologies related to astronaut and space experiment, and to inspire young people, young students with dreams and hopes for space. The first Korean astronaut, Dr. Joo-hee Lee, was selected out of 36,000 applicants in 2006 and trained with backup astronaut Mr. Go and Gagarin Cosmonaut Training Center in Russia during 2007. And on April 8, 2008, Dr. Joo-hee Lee was lifted up at Baikonur Cosmodrome and made 10 days of space flight and performed 18 kinds of space experiments successfully, and then returned to Earth. Astronaut Dr. Joo-hee Lee successfully conducted 18 domestic and 3 kinds of overseas collaborative space experiments, even though it was her first space flight. Space experiments were conducted in various fields, including life science, medical science, material science, physics, Earth observations, and education field. You can see the Dr. Joo-hee Lee's pictures in here. And this slide, in this slide, you can see the various kinds of space experiments that astronaut Dr. Joo-hee Lee conducted. According to the Dr. E, there were too many kinds of space experiments at the time, so she was quite busy on the international space stations. Okay, this video shows that astronaut Dr. E is staying on the International Space Station and having dinner with Korean space food developed by Korean food companies. At the time, many Korean food companies participated in the development of space food and showed their skills. You can see that Dr. E is eating fried kimchi and Korean rice. And when you eat in space, you should enjoy it, but don't play pranks.
볶음김치를 만들고 있습니다. 볶음김치는 따뜻한 밥을 먹기 위해서 밥을 볶아주면
KOR-UAE.
This slide shows the space environment utilization part of KARI. Based on the Korean astronaut project, Korea is conducting research on various space experiments for scientific research and industrial utilization using microgravity environment. KARI has been working hard to develop manned space experiment technologies since the Korean astronaut project in 2008. KARI considered two areas as major part and conducted researches on related experiment field. One area is biotechnology related to the manned space exploration, and the other part is combustion science in the fundamental physics. The field of biotechnology is aimed at supporting humans' safe space exploration on the microgravity environment in the future, and combustion experiments are also aimed at understanding the combustion characteristics and at preventing fire problems in manned space explorations. As part of KARI's major research project, KARI has developed a cell culture device system to prevent muscle atrophy in a microgravity environment, and a combustion experiment device for understanding combustion characteristics since 2010. As you can see here, the cell culture system, so-called automatic bioreactor, was developed for joint research with JAXA in Japan, but it did not go as far as a space experiment on the International Space Station. Okay, next part is the combustion science experiment using the microgravity environment utilizations. Okay, I'll explain about the development of combustion experimental equipment system. This combustion experimental device was developed for scientific purpose to understand the characteristics of combustion in a microgravity environment. In 2016, we started the developing of the equipment by jointly analyzing the data of the International Space Station combustion experiment with NASA. The development of combustion chamber, combustion module, and control system of combustion module was carried out for 3 years. In 2018, this combustion experimental equipment, combustion chamber, and combustion module was mounted on a parabolic flight airplane of Joo-hee Lee company in the United States to conduct the combustion experiment. During the experiment of combustion equipment mounted on a parabolic flight airplane, we have observed the cold flame phenomenon that can be observed in microgravity environment, such as on the International Space Station. We also added automated control system to this combustion experiment equipment, like cell culture system, to make it easier to conduct experiment in a microgravity environment. Through this equipment development, we were able to obtain the technology of automated combustion experimental equipment that can be utilized in a microgravity environment. This slide shows the combustion experiment chambers on a parabolic flight airplanes. You can see the one engineers in here, KARI engineer, or on the right of this image as checking the combustion equipment. In this slide, you can see the images of combustion experiment and various atmospheric pressure and gravitational changes. The first and second images, video images on the left side are images of the moment of the ignition occurs. And the third one, right in here, the researchers are dealing with the combustion experiment equipment in the microgravity conditions. The last picture right in here below shows that researchers and engineers are tired of parabolic flight. Parabolic flight is fun at first time, but number of flight increase, you can feel the dizzy, and in severe case, you may throw up. Well, guys, it's really tired right in here. Okay, this is the perspective of the new space era. I'll tell you about the what is the next step of space explorations. I have just talked about a wide range of space aerospace field, but now we are going to look at what we are going to do in new space era. In the future, I think the industrial use of space environment will increase, and the human stay using in situ resource utilization will increase on the Moon and Mars explorations. Therefore, I hope that young people or young students who want to work in the aerospace field will be able to see the growth of these potential areas. In the aviation sectors, research on personal air vehicle and research to dramatically increase speed of airplane are on the way. In space exploration, human beings are planning to explore the Moon and Mars. Therefore, if people want to stay on the Moon and Mars, I think there is a great potential growth in the area of residence, clothing, such as spacesuit, space food development, and so on. In this new space era, I would like you to choose a field where you can look at the changing times from the age of astronauts exploration to the age of citizens space tourism. Now I'm going to talk about the changes in aerospace, including space launch systems, satellite, aircraft, and space exploration. Changes in aerospace are taking place with new technologies that are affordable, precise, and can be used more quickly based on existing technologies. As shown in this slide picture, the space launch system sector uses the first stage reusable rocket and vertical takeoff and landing technology to dramatically reduce launch cost to about 1/10 of what it used to be. These technologies are being developed and utilized by SpaceX and Blue Origin in the United States. In the field of satellite, technologies for improving the observational resolution of Earth's observational satellite payloads and multi-wave spectroscopy have been attempted. In addition, changes such as the establishment of a global internet network are being attempted through formation flight using small satellite. In the aircraft sector, the development of electric propulsion aircraft is being promoted to address global climate change acceleration and noise problems. The Korea Aerospace Research Institute, KARI, is also participating in the research through the development of unmanned aerial vehicle technology in the stratosphere. Also, the development of hypersonic planes is on the way to make the world a one-day living zone. Now, just as we use our own cars research and development is on the way to create an era of personal aircraft use. From now on, I think there will be a day when we can go to the place we want to go quickly and conveniently using PAV. As you can see in the slide, the technology to combine drone with objects worn on our body, such as watches and glasses, is also rapidly developing. Amazon, the world's largest e-commerce company, is developing a delivery drone prime air service, which is being studied to deliver within 30 minutes of delivery within 16 kilometers of the warehouse. Companies such as DHL, Alibaba, and Medonet are also participating in drone development and flight testing for delivery service. In the field of space exploration, we are also studying proton-based space sail propulsion system, fusion propulsion system, and hybrid rocket propulsion systems. Space hotels, which have evolved from space exploration to space utilization, are being studied by private companies. Space solar power system for effective use of solar energy and space elevator for easy access to space have also become research areas in the new era of space exploration. Now I'm going to look at the changes in the space industry and wrap up my presentation today. According to the STEPI report, space development, which began in the 1950s, began with the military race between the United States and the Soviet Union. This situation continued until the 1980s, and from then until the 2000s, each country government-led space development was carried out. Since the 2000s, private aerospace companies have been growing. Many companies and startup companies are participating in space development and industrial utilization of space. Now, from 2020 onward, we predict that under this foundation, the true private space industry will grow and create a new market. In this situation, I think young people will have more opportunities to participate in space development. A new space era is coming, more than you think, and I think the main hero of this era are you, young people in here. When you grow up, I'd like you to combine your ideas with the aerospace sector to create a new space industry. Let's wrap up by watching the next video. This slide shows the vision of aerospace field that we want to make around 2040s. I hope you can make dreams and visions through watching these videos.
Aerospace science technology is transforming the world. The year 2040. The future will become a global economy built on aerospace, and humanity will expand its territory to the skies and outer space. Korea Aerospace Research Institute, KARI, is developing aerospace technology to realize a new era by 2040. KARI is doing its utmost to develop launch vehicles to secure independent space carrying capacity and to venture into the global satellite launch services market. First, KARI seeks to develop a Korean-made rocket that can launch a 1.5-ton multi-purpose satellite into Earth's lower orbit, thus building a solid foundation to have our own space technology, global competitiveness with our launch vehicles, and make inroads in the global satellite launch services market. Further along down the road, building on the previous achievements in satellite technology, KARI will venture into the global satellite development market. Currently, we have developed the KARI Solution, a catalog for exporting satellite technology. By exporting satellites, image information, satellite testing, and operation technologies, KARI will contribute to national economic growth. Moreover, we will usher in the age of unmanned solar system exploration by developing probes for the Moon, asteroids, and Mars. In the aircraft sector, we will develop mid-size, mid-range transports and a long-range hypersonic transport. Based on such technologies, we will be able to release personal air vehicles and spaceplanes that are reusable and can take off and land multiple times. And every first world country is actively investing in this industry. Now, to realize the global economy and the future aerospace industry, we need to go for sustainable development by focusing on R&D with efficient budget planning. To this end, we need active investment by the government with national support and improvement of core R&D to increase the per capita space budget from 5,000 won to 20,000 won. Until the day Korea becomes an aerospace powerhouse of the 21st century, we will continue our unrelenting efforts to conquer the skies and outer space.
Okay, this is the end of my presentation. I explained about various aerospace research areas. I think the process of space exploration and space development plan are very similar between United Arab Emirates and Korea. The fact that we still have a lot of researches to do in the aerospace field. I think we have a great opportunity to develop that areas. And please let me know if there is anything wrong or with my explanation. In the future, I hope that you become an expert in each of your favorite field. Thank you for your attention.
Yes, this is the end of the lecture, and I would like to thank Dr. Joo-hee Lee for giving us a good lecture so far. And now it's time for students to ask you questions. Dr. Joo-hee Lee?
Okay. Yes.
Yeah, thank you so much. And there are lots of questions, and I will give you the most frequently asked questions. The first question is that how should I study to get into KARI in the future?
Yeah, say again, please. I can hear you. Yeah.
Okay. The first question is that how should I study to get into KARI in the future?
Oh, yeah. it's a funny questions. Yeah. Okay. I think you are very interested in the aerospace part. So I recommend that you continue to study this field with the interesting as you are now, and receive master degrees or doctorate degrees in the field of mechanical engineering or electronic engineering and propulsion engineering in the university in the future. And then if you apply to KARI later, I think there is a good chance that you will do research together at KARI. I hope that I can do research with you in the future. And if you need any help, please contact me anytime. Yeah. Okay.
Oh, really? Thank you so much. And the second question is that does Korea have any project to explore any planets or moons in the solar system? And if so, what planets or satellites it is to be researched?
Yeah, it's a good question. As mentioned earlier in the presentation, Korea plans to launch a lunar orbiter, KPL, Korea Pathfinder Lunar Orbiter, in July 2022, which is the first project in Korea to explore the celestial body of the solar system. I think the solar system's celestial exploration plan, as outlined in the Korea's mid and long-term space development plan, is to send a lunar lander and a rover to the moon until 2030 after KPL programs. There are also plans for asteroid exploration and return with asteroid samples after 2030. In my opinion, if the lunar exploration project is completed successfully in 2022, other plans will gain momentum. In my personal hope, if the lunar exploration is successfully completed, then our goal is to join international cooperation programs such as manned exploration of Mars. I think the manned exploration of Mars can serve the international purpose of expanding human activities region beyond the Earth. In addition, manned exploration of Mars, I think it's a good idea to explore a planet in the solar system where liquid water exists. Exploring a water-based celestial body among the solar system can contribute to the purpose of human exploration of the solar system, which seek possible sign of life. For this purpose, I think Europa, Jupiter's satellite, and Enceladus, the Saturn satellite, are good objectives to explore. That's it.
So thank you, sir. So, Dr. Joo-hee Lee, there's
Yeah.
one student who wants to question you directly, and he asked me he can turn his mic and question you directly. Can I agree?
Yes.
Yes. Hanard Artenergy, you can turn on your mic and question to Dr. Joo-hee Lee directly.
Yes, hi, Doctor. I have a question about the day-to-day responsibilities of an aerospace engineer. Can you tell me about that?
You mean the responsibility of aerospace engineers?
Yes.
Yeah. Actually, I'm not an engineer, so I'm a scientist. So, but I think the engineers and scientists, each other people, they always cooperate in the field of aerospace research, aerospace development. So responsibility and I think the responsibility of engineers and scientists is to collaborate each other always to make a successful space development. That is my opinions.
Yes, thank you so much. And here's the last question in the chatting. He asked me that what is the company's biggest goals and achievement?
You asked me the Koreans the Paris plan and future hope. Yeah. Okay. KARI is now is focused on the three parts. One part is aeronautics. Second part is the launch vehicle, and the third part is the satellite development. So we have to develop the launch vehicle system. That is very important to send your satellite or spacecraft to send your space. So in this part, we will plan to launch a space launch vehicle next year. So our hope is to make a successful launch next year, the KSLV-2 Nuriho. Yes.
Really, thank you, sir. There's lots of questions on the chatting, and there's lots of questions that I have, but unfortunately, due to the time constraint, I have to wrap up here. So
Yes.
for the last question, please say a word to Korean and the UAE student, please.
Okay. I have a far-sighted eye, so I wear glasses right here. Sorry. First of all, I would like to thank you, young students who participate in the Korea United Arab Emirates Youth Aerospace Online Program event between two countries. And I really appreciate your step for preparing for this program. In particular, this is the first online event to be held due to the Corona-19. And I would like to thank the students from both countries for their enthusiastic participation in spite of the weekend. Korea and the UAE is, I think, Korea and the UAE seems to have many similarities in the aerospace sectors, especially in the areas of space development, such as satellite development, astronaut program, and Moon and Mars exploration programs. Therefore, we hope that I hope that the students from both countries will continue to interact each other and grow into experts who contribute to the development of both countries through exchanges, not only in the aerospace field, but also in the society, culture, and economies. So I think that the time to study, make a friend, and find your favorite field when you are go to school. Yeah, I hope this event will help students from both countries become friends and find your favorite field. So I hope all of you will have a big dream and grow up to be an expert in the field of aerospace in the future as you prepare for it one by one during your school days. Also, I hope you will continue to have a good time today. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. So can I ask some other questions that I want to ask you?
Yeah.
So in this situation, in the Corona situation, we can't go outside and we can't do any other outdoor activities. So can you recommend us that what can we do in this situation?
Yeah. The physical and mental things is very important for young people. So I'd like to recommend your physical activity in the outdoors playground. Yeah, that is very important for these Corona online situations. Yeah.
Really, thank you, sir. And I sincerely thank for Dr. Joo-hee Lee for once more time and for giving us such a good reply and a good lecture.
Yeah, thank you very much.
Thank you very much. That can I recommend to everyone to who attended in this situation, turn on your camera and say goodbye to and say thank you for Dr. Joo-hee Lee for this lecture. Please turn on your camera, please.
Yeah. Hi, nice to meet you. Yeah, thank you very much. Yeah,
Thank you
have
so
a
much.
break time, good time. Yeah. Okay.
Really, thank you so much, Dr. Joo-hee Lee. And from this situation, we'll take a break for 8 minutes now, and we'll be back soon.